Hello, good morning. Just got juice and water in there. I'm trying to increase my water intake at the moment, and improving my health really. There's nothing wrong with it, but yeah, age. I should be 69. Yeah, I should be 69 in October. So I just want to make sure things are ticking along and doing what they should be. Anyways, I'm busy learning all sorts of new little things on social media, right over the head, and just trying to improve how I promote my books. I've been looking around at quite a few authors and things they do, and I just struggle sometimes to put myself out there. I was brought up that you don't boast about yourself, you don't talk about yourself, and us Brits tend to hold back a bit. So I watch with admiration my American colleagues who are like, "Oh, here's my book, look at me, and this is what I do." And I admire them for that because their readership is enormous. Their interaction with people is huge. And I just think, oh, come on, I'm not shy. I'm not an introvert as such. I just find it very awkward. Like even just into yourself, sitting here doing that, I find it a little difficult. I am improving. My confidence training is helping me. I'm improving. So here I am, trying to prove it that my confidence is increasing. But anyways, I have not got copies yet, but I do have the cover, if you can see that, of the new book coming out in October. Now, New Hope for the East End Orphans is a saga series set in World War II in London in the Blitz. I have never touched London during the Blitz. My books are all about the Blitz around the UK cities other than London. However, my editor said, "Come on, you can do London." And yeah, but there are lots of other authors who manage it. Anyway, I've managed it as well. So this is the first book in the saga series, and it opens with Chrissy Curtis, and she introduces us more or less to several of the residents of Winder Street. Now, Winder Street is a fictitious street that I've invented and set it in the real Shadwell in the East End of London. You might hear a little bit of chattering going on. I've got a window open to air my office through this morning because there's lovely fresh air at the moment. Little neighbours' grandchildren are playing in the street, which is lovely because we live in a fairly safe close. Yes, so anyway, I digress. Here we go. So yes, Chrissy, she is a young woman, and her husband Jim is called up to fight, and we're at this sort of 1940s, and unfortunately Jim is killed and leaves Chrissy pregnant. So she's widowed and pregnant and at the mercy of the bombs, and her life starts to move forward with the support of the community of Winder Street, and she decides, and she's a very determined young woman, so she decides that she is going to pick up where Jim left off, and she had been doing it for a while, and that was to run their newspaper stall, and just keep going, keep ticking over. But she's getting more and more heavily pregnant, needs support, is approached by a very young lad, 15 years old, Freddie, and he's a real Cockney boy. And she learns more about his background, and his life is turned upside down, and Chrissy steps up, and they form a bond. And the story goes through with what those two struggle with, and how Freddie has turned to Sam, who is his brother's best friend, for a little bit of support. And Sam wants to encourage Freddie into a better path in life, and he approaches Chrissy to ask what should he do and to offer his help and support. There's lots goes on in Winder Street, and of course you've got the matriarch, Ma. She's a very demanding lady. So we watch how Chrissy handles life, living in the shelter, heavily pregnant, all of these things that go on. At the moment I'm writing book 2, and book 2 introduces us to Ruth Porter, and Ruth will be taking over her husband's business for a little while, and all sorts of things happen with her. And in book 1, people move out of Winder Street. In book 2, people move into Winder Street. In book 1, people are left in Winder Street, and the support that comes there is bled through into book 2, but they will be standalones as well. So yeah, so that's The New Hope for the East End Orphans. Thank you to everybody who has bought The Orphans Mission, my first book with Boldwood Books, and that is selling really well, and we're really pleased with that. Thank you very much. So, New Hope for the East End Orphans. Now, my granddad, he was born in London, and he was son of a grocer, and he moved to Parkston in Essex with his family and grew vegetables. And he used to wheel me about in his wheelbarrow up and down and round the village and up on his allotment, delivering vegetables to people and everything else. So I just felt it was right that the book is dedicated to him. I've just gone through proof edits, and it's now gone on for prep for publication. And the editor that I've not worked with before, she was brilliant in the proofing, found lots of little things that 101 eyes have missed. So for that, I'm always grateful. She also noticed that Chrissy kept sending Freddie for a wash every 2 seconds. The poor boy would have had no skin left. But as authors, we scribble away, we write down all our thoughts, and there's a moment where you're like, oh, I need to move this on. What can you do? Oh, no, I'll send him for a wash. So the poor boy is just, yeah, he went for about 5 washes in 10 minutes in one of the scenes. So we missed these things. A previous editor had missed that as well. It's so easily done. You read something, you read through it, oh right, yeah, gone for a wash, gone for a wash. It does not register sometimes that they've already had a wash. And yeah, so there's all sorts of things like that happens. I'm at Bury St Edmunds Library on the 16th of September, where I'll be giving a talk about my inspiration for the Orphans Mission and chatting about my new contract with new publisher, Boldwood Books. Boldwood Books are now owned by RB Media, which are a big, huge, well, they're the world's #1 audio company. Nothing changes for us. Boldwood still carries on as they, except our audio audience will increase, which is really, really quite good. So we're thrilled with that. I can tell you that because it's all public. It's all been out there. You've probably seen it yourself. So yeah. So there's lots of exciting things going on at the moment, moving ahead. When I'm not working on my historicals, at the moment I've paused Amber Raven. She is set aside at the moment. My head's not in the right space for that one. I wrote that story when I was sitting beside my mother when I was nursing her at home here, during really quite a tough time. And her brother is going through the same at the moment, and I think that may well have a bit of a psychological knock-on effect. I don't know. So instead, I pulled out a contemporary that I'm writing or have written, and I didn't like the way it was going, so I moved it into a different POV as first person, and it's just popped. Whether I'll submit that to anybody, I don't know, but I'm really, really enjoying writing that. It's about a counsellor who she decides at her wellness centre she doesn't want to stay there anymore. She has had this dream of running a bit like a little holiday place, but it's specifically for people to come, interact, and then have private sessions of wellness and healthcare. Their thoughts, all their troubles come with their suitcases. And Cara has this dream of doing that for herself. And that was a dream that she had with her fiance to run a business. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way for her at the start, and but an inheritance comes in, and that changes her life forever. And along the way, we meet her clients and what they bring into the story, and the heavy baggage, and there are romances built within the group. People meet their soulmate, they meet different things, and for Cara this is just the dream. So I'm having good fun writing that, and I really, really don't know what to do with it at the moment. I call it Turning Tides at Sandy Shore, because in memory of her aunt, who loved the singer Sandy Shore, Puppet on a String, Eurovision Song Contest in the 60s. And she has lots of memorabilia, so there's a whole connection there. So she calls it the Wellness Centre, Sandy Shore, and she goes on and helps people, basically, along with her golden retriever, Archie. And, of course, there is someone who comes into her life. But there is someone who has left her life. So that's all I'm going to say. Right, I must get on. I have spent time learning about Instagram, Still haven't got a clue. Still trying hard. It just does not stick in this brain. So I have notes, and I also am a very visual learner. So I use a lot of videos, and as I'm in between edits, and I have got a program called Pacemaker, and that gives me so many words a day to write up until my target deadline, and they're easy blocks of wording, rather than sitting there all day pumping out thousands. I'm on target all the time. I can go over that or under that, over that and increase, and then the figure goes down each day. So I'll turn out my words for today, and I'll do a little bit more study. You take care and stay hydrated. So I got myself one of these I had a show bottle with Glynis Peters' author engraved on it years ago, just a little one for my handbag, and I've always loved it, but the volume in it, and because getting up and down and going to the tap and everything else when you're working is a bit of an inconvenience. So I have this one, and then I have a ginormous bright orange one, but that has a bit of a metal taste in it. It's not the same quality as this one. So I should be treating myself to, or asking the birthday fairy maybe, for a bigger one that they do, and just keep on this health track that I can. So yes, so something exciting at the end of September is happening, which I won't mention because you'll find out when it's happened. It's friendship and writing all rolled into one, so that's a wonderful thing, and I really am excited about that. So okay, I will love you and leave you. Thank you for watching and listening to me ramble on. Take care.